we had FIDO at Graveley, where I was operating from. When the heavies finally got off in January after the Ardennes push, the Battle of the Bulge, we went to Berlin that night, and when the heavies got back, we had a lot of aircraft diverted to Graveley from the main force, and there was a Lank landing in front of us. This Lank completely misjudged its height. You know, the flames were about twice as high as the ceiling.
From the FIDO, right?
From the FIDO.
Yeah.
And he completely misjudged his height, and he dropped in on the top of the flames rather than where the ground was. And he did a terrific heavy bang, or heavy landing. But unfortunately, he had a 2,000 pound hang-up, which hadn't released. But when he did this heavy landing, it released and came straight through the bomb doors. And when we landed immediately afterwards, there's this bomb spinning in the runway. So Roy said to control, whatever, I forget the call sign now, but he said, Robert, what's the control? There's a fucking bomb right in the middle of the runway. Of course, there's a deathly hush from these little WAF RT operators, and then presently the Popeye, the control officer, comes on, and he said, Robert, message understood, ladies present. Said Roy, I do apologise, he said. It's quite an ordinary bomb, but it's fucking dangerous.
Very good, yeah.
Then another time with Roy, Bush Harris came to the station, and the heavies weren't operating that night, so he came for our briefing. And he was standing beside the squadron commander, Joe Northrop, and Joe was reading out the battle order. Now, the spare aircraft was Sugar, and it was a bloody awful aircraft, and every time we took it, particularly to Berlin, we'd barely get into Woodbridge on the way back. You know, fuel consumption was terrible on it.
Right.
And so this night we were briefed to Berlin again, and when he's reading out the battle order, he says, Flying Officer Montrowe, he said, Sugar. Sugar said, Roy, what's wrong with our Robert? He said, well, I'm sorry, Montrowe, he said, our Robert's got a mag drop, so you'll have to take the spare. And Roy said, but fucking Sugar, sir, that bloody kite flies like a brick shithouse. And Harris was standing there, and his moustache was twitching, and he was trying his best not to laugh. You know, you could see it.
Right.
That was that.
Did you take it?
Yeah.
Did you
when we landed at Woodbridge.